Have you ever wondered why Pakistan's economy is teetering on the edge of collapse? While it may seem a bit dramatic, the current economic state of Pakistan is indeed quite precarious. For many, the term economic crisis might sound abstract, but in reality, it's a situation where the financial stability of a nation is at risk. This is what's happening in Pakistan right now. Over the last few years, the country has faced significant challenges that have led to a downturn in its economy. From a troubled agricultural sector which forms the backbone of Pakistan's economy to high inflation rates, the hurdles are many. Couple these with the increasing fiscal deficit and the declining foreign exchange reserves, and you have a recipe for an economic crisis. These aren't just random facts, but indicators underlining the severity of the situation. Each of these factors is like a piece of a puzzle that, when put together, paints a clear picture of the country's economic condition. Let's dive deeper to understand the factors contributing to this economic crisis. Imagine the state of an economy through the lens of charts and graphs. Now, let's delve into the key indicators and trends that have led to Pakistan's economic downturn. Our first chart is a stark representation of inflation. Over the past few years, the inflation rate has spiked dramatically, making basic commodities more expensive for the average Pakistani. This has, in turn, led to a decrease in consumer spending, further straining the economy. Next, let's turn our attention to the unemployment chart. It's a rising curve that signifies an increasing number of Pakistanis out of work. The lack of jobs, coupled with inflation, has created a vicious circle of economic hardship that's hard to break. The debt chart is another key indicator of the economic crisis. Pakistan's debt has been mounting over the years, with the country borrowing heavily to meet its financial obligations. This has resulted in a debt-to-GDP ratio that is alarmingly high. The burden of this debt is felt by every Pakistani, as it limits the government's ability to invest in infrastructure, education, and healthcare. Another chart worth noting is that of the GDP growth rate. It has been on a downward trend, indicating a slowdown in the overall economic activity. This is a cause for concern, as a lower GDP growth rate can lead to reduced economic opportunities, lower income levels, and an increase in poverty. Lastly, the foreign exchange reserves chart shows a continuous decline, pointing towards the country's dwindling ability to pay for its imports or service its external debt. These charts paint a grim picture of Pakistan's economy, but what does this mean for the average Pakistani? How does an economy in crisis affect the everyday life of its citizens? Imagine waking up one day to find that everything around you is priced more than you can afford. This is the reality for the average Pakistani, whose daily life is heavily impacted by the economic crisis. The rising cost of living has left many families struggling to make ends meet. Simple things like buying groceries or paying for utilities has become a challenge, as prices skyrocket and salaries remain stagnant. The crisis has also led to a severe lack of job opportunities, causing a surge in unemployment rates. People are finding it increasingly difficult to secure stable employment, leaving many in a state of financial uncertainty and stress. This lack of job security and the constant fear of unemployment have added another layer of hardship to the lives of the citizens. Furthermore, the decreased purchasing power has made it even more difficult for people to afford basic necessities. The value of money has diminished, and what used to be enough to sustain a family is no longer sufficient. This has not only affected the quality of life, but also the morale and optimism of the people. The economic crisis has severe implications for the people of Pakistan, but is there a way out? Is there a light at the end of this economic tunnel for Pakistan? A question that's been echoing around the globe. With the right strategies and policies, the answer could be a resounding yes. Economic reforms are the first step on this journey. By streamlining processes, eliminating corruption, and promoting transparency, Pakistan can create a more conducive environment for businesses and investors. Foreign investment is another crucial component. With its strategic location and vast untapped potential, Pakistan can attract international businesses. But to do so, it must ensure political stability and provide attractive incentives. Debt restructuring can also play a significant role in alleviating the financial pressure. By negotiating with creditors for better terms and lower interest rates, Pakistan can reduce its debt repayments and free up resources for development. The importance of sustainable economic practices can't be overstressed. This involves not only environmental sustainability, but also social and economic sustainability. By ensuring inclusive growth that benefits all sections of society, Pakistan can build a resilient and robust economy. While the road to recovery may be long and arduous, there is hope for Pakistan's economy if the right steps are taken.